Alright guys, today I want to do a follow-up video on when I talked about using the Oculus Quest 2 and using virtual desktop to wirelessly stream from my PC to the Quest 2 PC VR games. So, when I was using that stuff before, I was using Nest Wi-Fi. So it's essentially a mesh system. And for those of you guys who don't know, that basically means that there's a main access router, and then there's pucks around the house that you spread out, obviously, to cover more range because one usually isn't enough. So you put like one as the main router here in the basement, which is what I had. I had one in the living room, and then I had another one in the dining room. So it covered the whole entire house, and it worked pretty well. Then I started looking into, obviously then Virtual Desktop came out, and I used Nest Wi-Fi with Virtual Desktop, and it just wasn't ever that good. It was fine, and that includes Airlink as well, that Oculus has. They're both the same. Basically, I would have stuttering every once in a while. It wasn't terrible. It was playable when I wanted to play it, especially story-based games, but for games like Beat Saber, 11 Table Tennis, anything that required fast reaction, it definitely wasn't good enough because every 3 to 4 minutes it would stutter completely or get really artifacty and stuff, and I couldn't play it, especially fast-paced games like that rely on high scores. So I kept putting it off, especially because I got an HTC Vive Pro 2 now for my PC, and I kept putting it off, and I was like, how much better could it actually be? And then recently I actually set up a new router from Asus, somewhere else. I set it up for my sister at her new office and stuff like that, and I actually ended up setting up that router, and it was really similar to this one, except it was a business router instead, but from Asus, and it had most of the features that this had, Wi-Fi 6, which of course Google Nest Wi-Fi doesn't have, all that technology and stuff, and I was like, huh. And I used it in our office, and it covered the whole office. There was no mesh system needed, even though it does support it, all that kind of stuff, and I was like, huh, I wonder if I could use this at home and see if I could actually improve my virtual desktop experience and just Wi-Fi in general in the house. So, I got this router right here, as you guys are looking at, the most expensive router you can possibly buy. Because I don't buy routers, so it's not something I buy very often. So if I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy what is the top of the line today, so I'm set up for the future. So I bought the router here from ROG here, and this is the GT-AXE11000. So it supports Wi-Fi 6, and of course the Wi-Fi 6E, which no devices that I even own support it, but it's ready for the future. The only device that really supports it off the top of my head is the new Samsung Galaxy devices, if you have that phone. It basically introduces this 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So how we have 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, now we have a 6 gigahertz coming soon, or already out, but only supported by devices that actually, are out, which is just the Galaxy devices. But I'm ready for the future. I got this router, has a bunch of gaming features. It talks about Wi-Fi 6, which of course I didn't have before, all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to see if one of these routers can actually do my whole entire house and no mesh system needed, because this talks about being really far range. So, let's go ahead and find out how we did, shall we? Let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so I will be showing you some gameplay so you guys can see for yourself how good virtual desktop works on the Quest 2 and streaming from my PC, so you guys can see the proof in the pudding. Unfortunately, of course, I don't have my Nest Wi-Fi anymore to compare them, but you'll see how well it works now, regardless. Now, before we get into some gameplay, let me give you a little bit of quick stuff. So, this is the router here. Like I said, $550 for this router. It's an insane amount of money, but like I said, I don't buy routers. You don't upgrade routers every 2 to 3 years, so I just wanted to buy the top of the line, not worry about it for a long time, and kind of leave it in there, have every supported technology that we have. This is basically the Bugatti of routers. As you can see here, the thing looks like an alien. Mothership that just landed inside my game room, and it's insane. So, putting that to the side, how well is it actually working in my house? Well, I'll tell you right now, Google Wi-Fi worked really, really well in my home as far as coverage, because I've had those 3 pucks around the house. But it was never, like, I have a 1 gig line in my house, so I have a fiber line coming in, and it's a 1 gig line. So, I get 940 up and 940 down in this house. So, obviously, on wired, I always got that, but on Google Wi-Fi, I never actually got that anywhere near that, of course. Usually, upstairs, I would get somewhere between 1 and 150 up, and about 1 to 150 down across the whole entire upstairs. Sometimes I would get lucky and it would go above or 200, but most of the time it was between 1 and 150 on the average. When I came down here, of course, with the router being down here, of course, then it would go to like 300-ish with the Google Wi-Fi when I was sitting right in front of it. Now, again, the speeds are not the only thing you need to worry about when it comes to virtual desktop and Airlink. You need to also worry about, you know, the band that you're running on, the 2.4 versus the 5 gigahertz. You need to worry about network interference, of course. If you have a lot of devices in the house like I do, I have like over 50 devices in this house that are internet connected at any one given time between my smart home stuff and just everything going on. So you need a good router to support that stuff, and Nest Wi-Fi was fine, but it didn't have, first of all, you couldn't split at the channels, which was a major thing. So it would just determine if it should go on the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi or 2.4, but they weren't separated. So you couldn't choose what to connect to what. So that was one downfall. Then, of course, you're relying on a mesh system. So a mesh system sometimes can produce wonky results. You know, if you're upstairs and, you know, the cell phone connects to the mesh system upstairs and you come downstairs, as long as the Wi-Fi connection is technically good enough, and if you're still getting 100 up, it's not going to disconnect from that mesh one and plug into the one downstairs, even though the one downstairs is theoretically faster, because that's how mesh systems work. They only move when they need to move, so you're not always getting the fastest speed possible. It may be reliable, but it's not the fastest all the time, so that was another issue. And then the fact that it just didn't support Wi-Fi 6 standard, which gives you higher throughput and stuff for virtual desktop, and Airlink, which is a big deal of reducing latency and reducing interference and all that stuff. But I always thought that was nonsense. I was like, my internet connection is fast enough. My Quest 2 and my PC's hardwired, of course. I didn't expect virtual desktop to run any better than I got. Because like I said, it was good enough. You know, I usually didn't have any issues, but every once in a while, every 3 minutes or so, I would get either really bad artifacts or, you know, whatever. And I never ran it at max either. I wasn't running it at 150 bit rate. I was always running it at 100 bit rate with everything else, of course, set to ultra since I own a 3080. But it was never everything at max. So then I, of course, installed this router, and now we're on a whole different ball game. Upstairs now, I get anywhere from 400 to 600 up and 400 to 600 down, depending on where I am. And of course, down here, being right next to the router, I get 700 up and 700 down when I'm down here, which is insane. That's like a 4 to 6 times increase of what it was before, and it covers the whole entire house. I only need the router downstairs here, and it covers everything upstairs. No issues with any dead zones or anything like that. Granted, my house isn't huge or anything, but of course, the Google Wi-Fi couldn't support this whole house. There was dead zones, and it was even slower in certain parts than the 100 up and down if I didn't have all 3 of them up there. So this thing is crazy. It has, and the 5 gigahertz is at all 3 bars, and so is the 2.4 gigahertz one completely at 3 bars when I connect any of my laptops or desktops to it. There's no degradation in the Wi-Fi because my whole house is covered at 3 full bars. So the distance on this thing is insane. I don't even see 2 bars on any of the devices that I connected in this house, which is crazy. So speeds are much improved, all that stuff. But of course, here we're talking about virtual desktop as well, along with this router. And this router, by the way, if you have the money, I recommend this router to anyone. The features are insane. It has gaming features to prioritize network traffic just to gaming devices. It has a bunch of different options. Of course, way more options and tinkering that you could do than you could have done on Google Wi-Fi, which I like because you can change everything. You can, port forwarding is really easy on here. They have a gigantic game list and stuff that you can look at to easily make port forwarding a thing when you have issues with that. Of course, supports all the Wi-Fi standards. Every feature that you could want is basically on this router. It even supports VPN that is built in right to the router before any traffic goes out. Everything is on here, and it's a gaming router, so it's fantastic. And the speeds and the length of the speeds are fantastic, as proven here. But, of course, here we're talking about the Quest 2 and virtual desktop. So here, let's go ahead and dive into virtual desktop, and let me show you exactly what we're working with now compared to before. Alright guys, here we are at the virtual desktop. You can see here we are connected to my PC in front of me. You can see we're on my 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. You can see we have 1,200 megabytes per second. When I was on the Google Wi-Fi, it was only 866. Now with Wi-Fi 6, you get 1,200, so that helps a lot. Basically almost
mandatory when it comes to virtual desktop if you want like buttery free non-lag type gameplay. Looking at my settings here, you can see the desktop bitrate I have 60, frame rate 90, environment quality high. For streaming I have ultra because I have a 3080, and then I have 90 FPS. And here's the VR bitrate, which makes the games look better, and I usually had it at 100 on my old router, and it still would sometimes stutter every 3 minutes or do some pixelation and stuff. Here I have it at full 150, and you'll see it runs really, really smooth. So let's go ahead and go into the game, shall we? So let's go ahead and start off with some Beat Saber, since that obviously requires really fast movement and something that we definitely need. Okay, so here we go. So we are playing on Expert, as you guys can see here. See, it's running really well. That was my fault. Not paying attention well enough. No issues at all. And we're recording on the PC that's streaming this to virtual desktop too. So it's doing a lot of work right now. I'm actually pretty surprised on how well this runs. Like, I really feel like I'm playing a native Quest game and I wouldn't even know. I don't feel any issue with playing Beat Saber on Expert streaming like this. I used to love this song when it first came out. This was like the original Beat Saber song I used to play all the time. I think we only missed one the whole time, which was closer to the beginning. I think we only missed one, yeah. 678 to 679, so yeah, we only missed that one. So you can see how well Beat Saber works. Literally, didn't notice any difference. You would have told me I was playing this on the Quest, I would have believed you. I wouldn't know this is streaming at all. And it looks great, and obviously you get a little bit more particle effects and stuff while you're playing on the PC version. So let's go ahead and quit out of that. And let's go ahead and try some game that I'm sure a lot of you guys haven't seen or heard of in a while, but it obviously dictates exactly what we're trying to do here, and that is Fruit Ninja. This is the game I used to play to try and get the high scores, but I'm still terrible at the game on the iPhone, and then they brought it to VR, and they did a really good job with this one. I actually think Fruit Ninja 2 is out now, though I haven't really tried it that much. So here we go. So this guy obviously needs coordination and obviously can't have any lag or you're not going to be able to hit these things. Though, to be fair, I'm going to lose because I suck at the game regardless. But Damn, I really dropped that one, didn't I? Well, that was terrible. Alright, you can see my high score. There's obviously a 195, but that was terrible, so we obviously got to do that again. What do you mean? I hit that. Wasn't that a bomb? Oh, that wasn't a bomb. I'm a little bit stupid. Ooh, I just got that orange one last second. And that's how you know there's no issue with lag. That orange one was basically on the floor before I hit that thing. Missed another one. We're not doing very well. But at least it's showing you guys, besides my lack of skill, at least it's showing you guys that PCVR games do work. Hey, look at that 3 combo we got there. There's that nice critical hit. Oh, I hit the bomb. But you guys get the idea. Besides my lack of skill, you guys can see that you can play this really well. No issue with actual lag or anything, and you could think that you're playing this natively on the Quest 2, but you're actually streaming it from your PC. So this is another game that works, well, they all work really well, but this is another game to show you case how well it really works, because you need to obviously be accurate in your swings. Alright, so let's go ahead and play this game here so you guys can see how the hockey one works. This is a game I play a lot. Let's go ahead and do medium difficulty. We'll see how well we do. Obviously, this needs a lot of accuracy. No lag or anything like that, because for obvious reasons, you need to be able to stop the puck. So far, so good. Look at that with the stick. Get that out. Ooh, nice glove save. That hit the post after I deflected it off the stick. Off the pads. Oh, he got me with that one because I wasn't ready. Got that one with the stick. Nice little hop. Almost went behind me. Not today with that. Missed that one. All those ones on the swing. Ooh, that was a high one. Deflected that one. That's a glove. So obviously you wouldn't be able to play this game if you didn't have fast reflexes like that, and you weren't able to do it because of a stream, because of the lag or anything, so you could tell how well this is working. He almost got me with that one. Ooh, nice glove. Ooh, hit the post. Felt that. Got me with that one. Got him with the pad there. Ooh, let's end that. Let's end this with a catch glove. Let's go ahead. Let's see if we can end this with a glove save here. And the actual glove. I want one in the glove here. Oh, we lost anyway. But either way, you guys got the idea here. Really, really fun game, and you wouldn't be able to play games like this and the ones that I showed you before if you didn't have really good, Wi-Fi streaming these games to the Quest, and you can see how well it actually works. So, let's go ahead and wrap up the video.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and it shows you guys that you can definitely improve and get really solid performance at a virtual desktop, and Airlink runs the same way, even though I didn't show it in the video. It works really well as well now with this router. You need a good router. You don't all need to buy this router if you don't want to spend $550, but you do need a Wi-Fi 6 router. It makes a huge difference. I knew that it was going to be faster. I just didn't expect all the lag and me to be able to max everything out as well as it does. I didn't expect the router to cover my whole entire house because I've never had a router be able to cover this whole entire house without using a mesh system. And getting the speeds that I'm getting on Wi-Fi being close to what I get on wired is kind of ridiculous, especially you know, with how Wi-Fi has been all the time for us. So really, really happy with that. I love this router, but like I said, you don't need this router. You can get the model underneath that's like $400 instead, that just removes the 6E instead, if you don't care about that, because there's no devices that currently support it besides the Samsung Galaxy devices, and we don't know how long it's going to take. But if you want to be future-proof for everything, then this is, of course, the one to get. And everything about it has been fantastic. Virtual desktop is now a lot of fun. Now, the way I'm going to use it going forward, I actually got a lot of friends to get the Quest 2 recently. It's not just me and my wife anymore. Her couple of friends have gotten it. You know, some of her family members have gotten it. More of my friends have gotten it. So now we actually have a lot of people to play with all the time. But, you know, someone like me who loves playing PC VR, it's kind of a pain, even if the games are crossplay, to kind of have 3 people on the Quest and then me using my Vive Pro 2 on the PC, because they're all in a party talking to each other, and then I'm, you know, on the PC and I have to get into the game, call them on the phone, hey, what's the room code to get into that game? Go in there and then kind of, you know, get the room code. And then when we're in there, then we can finally all talk to each other. So it doesn't make easy organization when you're not all on the same platform. So what this helps me do now is when I actually have friends to play, you know, in VR that night, we can all hop on the Quest 2. We can all be in a party like it should be, all be talking to each other, make things really easy. But while they're playing on the Quest 2, for people like me who are crazy, we can go ahead and stream from the PC and kind of play those games together on the Quest, and I can still be talking to them in a party even though I'm streaming the game from my PC. And I did this yesterday actually for the first time with my friends to kind of put all of it to the test, that I can play, you know, with 4 people on the Quest and streaming on the PC and stuff like that. We actually played after the fall because I wanted to see a full game being used. You know, the game has really high resolution graphics on the PC. I pushed everything to the max, everything on ultra settings, everything on virtual desktop was set to ultra, just like you guys saw in this video, and everything looked fantastic. Never saw a degradation, never saw artifacts, never had the game lag at all. Not even for a split second did the game look like it lagged because of internet connection issues or anything. Literally, it was flawless, and I would have thought I was playing the game on Quest 2, but it looked superior, and of course we had those awesome flashlights, and it made the game even scarier and better looking. And it's just fantastic. So, my plans going forward, Quest 2, when I'm playing with friends, stream from virtual desktop from my PC, if the games are obviously on there. If I'm not playing with friends, and of course I'll continue to use my Vive Pro 2, because my Vive Pro 2 still has the benefits of a much wider field of view. It has, of course, the 5K resolution, so the games are going to look better on there, even you know, moving from virtual desktop on the Quest 2 because of the nature of that being 5K. But I'll be playing that headset when I'm playing VR by myself, and if I'm playing with friends now I can get the benefits of playing with them, but also playing my PC VR games and having them look better, but still be on the Quest platform streaming them, and it runs super, super well. So I'm glad to have that combo now, back and forth depending on what I want to do. So guys, that is the end of my video. I hope you guys found this video useful for all you guys who are debating it. I highly recommend it if you guys want to do it. It works extremely well, and I'm super, super happy with it. So if you guys have any questions about what you guys saw in today's video, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.